I didn't move. You guys were in the same spot. I wandered over there just like briefly, and then we're on here being fine, and then I got no answers. I got no answers. Oh, I want to do, I don't know if anybody will chime back in here or not. This is getting annoying. YouTube is not my favorite thing sometimes. It is not my favorite thing sometimes. We back, yeah. I didn't want to let the other stream go, thinking that you would think that if it was just like a, it had a blip in the system, like a little blip, that it would just, it maybe freeze on that end and then come back, because everything on my end looked fine. But for whatever reason, it's being a jerk. All right. That can go. This must have been the wiring I had once upon a drift for the, I had duals. I think last week we made it through okay. It was the week before, but yeah. I got no answers. Jeez, track tech. Oh, okay. Ruby, okay. Track tech, I tried to explain it in there. I will re-explain it. Ruby is for hot, fast, black tracks. Dog days of summer where you need more of an acrosol-y solvent type of prep. When a track is really, really good, you would run Ruby, or maybe you would cut Ruby with something like Acrosol. Where you don't want you want the tire to be a little drier because of how hot and fast and black the track is getting. You don't want to build a ton of bite on it because you will lock yourself down. Topaz, on the other hand, is up until TrackTac offered their Gold Grip, aka Goat Pea. TrackTac is Topaz is the closest thing to Goat Pea you're going to find. So I would say that is for soft tracks where you want to drop durometer and build as much bite as possible. The only thing stronger than Topaz is Goat Pea. So there you go. Hello from Israel, or America to Israel. The goat. Hang in there. Yeah, I know. It's voice AK. Peter. Some of my impressions are okay. My Peter Griffin is not one of them. I can do the Patrick Warburton. He's all right. That guy, he's Joe. He's Peter's neighbor. I can do Patrick Warburton just a smidge, and that's about it, though. I can do, I'm old, so older. I can do the Jackalope. That guy from America's Funniest Home Videos. I can do that. But my impressions are kind of, I get dialects all screwed up, so I try not to do it, except for, like maybe Australian type of thing. Okay. And Simpson here. And at KB, I have run KB Speedway in the past. Don't think I've run KB Speedway as it's currently. I went down last year. I did not get to run. It rained. I got down there for 100 to win money race. The people, I maybe saw the forecast. They didn't show up. Anyway, I was the only one who showed up for the money class. And I never ended up getting to run. Now, I ran it when it was Back River Raceway a few times in my open. So, yeah. Crab, then I can't. I'm on my phone. I don't have a translator. I don't speak that. Jackson edit. Crab the camera for Lamar Jackson edit. I don't know what that is. You look like discount Visa. Okay. Oh. Anyway, I was getting this wiring around. I need tape. I need electrical tape. You know, is Doug on here? If Doug's watching, you know, Doug calls electrical tape black tape. I mean, technically it's black tape, but it's got a purpose. I'll be getting a text from, if he is watching, I'll be getting it. It's black tape! I think my electrical tape is out in the, it's out in the, did I bring it in? I can't remember. I think it's out in the trailer, so we're just going to make do with what I got here, which is some good old duct tape. I just need this not to be able to ground. Where'd it go? That's that. That's the kill switch. Why is that uncovered? I got it. Everybody calm down. I figured it out. Dude looks like Adam Savage. Okay. I always wanted, you know, I did see there was something on, just grab the cam, my boy. Okay. Grab the cam. I could grab the cam. It's my phone. But I'm not going to do that because I have greasy hands. Look how Mark Barton's trying to speak. Yeah. Mark Barton likes the old format. He likes the Winston Cup. That lame ass, that Daniel Trotta and that thing. There was some sad backtracking there. And just that girl there, just boldly saying, "I didn't even know you lie. You're lying. You're lying." Everybody knows you're lying. You're backtracking because it got real bad publicity real quick. And like somebody said on the X there, that even if it was true that you didn't know that Mark Barton was there and on that team discussing the new, you know, what they want to do with the point system. Your simple attitude about anybody having a, you know, disagreeing with the way things are going right now is just wrong. What is wrong with you? You know, a discourse about different ideas is a good thing. Whether it be, you know, the point system or whatever in NASCAR, you know, any dissenting views are unacceptable according to Daniel Trotta. I don't swear on here. Size includes trader. You pull. I pull a 4x8. It's just a little one. I'd take you out there, but apparently, if I move this camera at all, aka my phone, it cuts off my feed. So I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna do that. Grandpa, I'm not that old. Come on, man. Adam Savage. That's. I'll take that as a comment. Yeah, the dude's on TV. Grandpa, I'm 48. I mean, my kids are old enough. I technically could be a grandpa. I'm not a grandpa though. What's going on? Damn, I was looking for a 6x12. I had to say, my very first trailer that I ever bought for racing was a 6x12 single axle. Fantastic, worked excellent. You can take 2 carts in it. It's squeeze. I tried to stand one on end. I tried different methods. If you're going to use like an over/under, that works the best. If you have a, either be it wood or some other method, one on the floor, one up, you can carry 2 carts. If you ever have 2 carts in a 6x12, but if you're on stands, something like that, it becomes very difficult in a 6x12. 4x8 really limits my ability to take anything more than 1. I will be taking 2 carts down to AMS, so I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, the 4x8, an over/under might work with that as long as I had like 2 different streeter stands. But I have an electric stand, so it, you look 40. How can you be I'm 48. 2 more years, I'll be 50. But yeah. That was my next question. Yeah, I've had everything up to an 18-footer. Those are fantastic. They're just heavy. Your gas mileage goes in the toilet. Like my little 4x8 there, it's tiny. It gets the job done for 1 cart. You can bring enough tires. Anything you can think of that you can bring enough tires for local racing. I'd say if you're, looking to go like state racing or a bigger race, like a Maximilian or something like that, all the guys with racks and racks of tires, you're going to be behind the 8-ball because you can't carry enough. Although you have the bed of your truck to carry tires, that's what I'm going to do for Grand Nationals. But if you're just a single player type of one cart type of thing, a 4x8 will get the job done. You could do an over/under in it. It's going to be a tight squeeze, and you're going to need some, like I said, foldable cart stands in order to carry with you, break those out and then have help to load 2 carts type of thing. But as it's, 4x8 for just me, it's just me that goes racing, so it's perfectly fine. 6x12 would be a bit better. I would love to have my 6x12 back just for sheer room. You can actually carry, like an actual toolbox in there. It's so much better stuff. I appreciate that. I look 40. No, this is in 2 weeks, I'll be going to my 30-year class reunion. So I graduated in the 1995s. Put one on the floor and one in the standing. Yeah. See, it'll work. You can, it's like a puzzle. You just make do with what you got. That's what I've always done. I rocked a Predator, doing pretty good for my first race. Nice. Heck yeah. That's, the Predators and stuff, I won't say everybody laughs at them because that's ridiculous. People run them. The clone guys, don't prefer them type of thing because they're underpowered compared to a clone. But I tell you what, some of those, the Dukars and stuff, they get around there plenty. It's the same thing can be said for opens. A smaller engine in UAS will oftentimes turn way faster corner speed lap times. Like overall, they probably even out, but they really, because they're so kind of light and fluffy. The same thing, I think, with, there's no, if you can keep your momentum up, if you're running higher air pressures and stuff like that, and really trying to, keep your rolls, that lower horsepower doesn't hurt you as much as I think some people think it does. But yeah. Like playing Tetris, yeah. We run GoSet. Nice. That's, what the heck was it that was going to the Ghost engine and then, I always draw a blank every time I go to say the track name. All the NASCAR kids race there. But they were going to go to treaded tires and the Ghost engine. And that was going to be, like a spec class. Then it's adjustment and driver. So there's, no prop, no nothing like that. So it's pretty cool. I like that concept. Oh. Boop, 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 boop. And then I got to scale this thing. Put all this stuff together, and then I got to scale it. Sick stuff. Thank you very much for stopping by. I try not to overdo it with the thank yous, although I want to say thank you to everybody in every single video, but I know it. I don't ever want to sound insincere, so I kind of hold it back, and then I give you guys all at once. But anytime anybody ever reaches out to me, I can't thank you guys enough for being here, for watching my videos, for the support. It helps. It's no, I'm in the creator program or whatever you want to call it. YouTube pays me. It's not a ton of money, but it does keep me racing. And it's helped with gas. It's helped with entries. It's not a ton of money. It's a lot of work that I put in because I do a live stream. I do as many, shorts as I possibly can. And I do one video a week that, I try and put a lot of thought into. I don't want to say it's a ton of work, but it's a secondary job. But it helps me race. It keeps me racing because I'm very low budget. I do with what I got, type of thing. And you guys being here, watching the videos, liking the videos, doing all the things that support me, it helps a lot. It may not sound a lot, but yeah. Have you heard of Black Edge Prep? I have not. heard of Black Edge Prep. There are a lot of preps out there, and for even though I'm sponsored and use TrackTac, I've often said this. I'm not delusional to think that there aren't other really, really good preps out there. There are people, MC there, Matt Connolly, just killing it with his prep system, killing it with the way he does tires, his information, his know-how to get that 811 up front at all the big races. Absolutely killing it. And there's a lot of other, I met Donnie Nall. He makes fantastic stuff. My familiarity is with TrackTac because I've been running them for, it's 15 years, more than that, 20 years. I don't know. Just a couple years after they created the TrackTac prep line is when I started using them. So that long. I'm most familiar with them. I know, for the most part, what they do, what you want to do with a tire, or the direction. But I'm not arrogant enough to say that other preps don't work. That I'm sure that whatever type that is works really well. And then people do mixes of their own. They take even TrackTac stuff, and I have a couple mixes that my one internal, I call it the number 63 internal. It's no special. There's nothing special about it. It's GK1 Blue and SQS. I like to run that internal. Which prep works, or is there a description on the website? If you're talking about TrackTac, I have the TrackTac series. If you go to my channel on YouTube and click on the TrackTac series, I have a breakdown of almost all of the preps. I have a couple that I received that I didn't have when I was doing a lot of those, and my beard's a lot longer, just to let you guys know if you go back and watch those videos. I have a couple that I didn't have at the time that I have to or I have to put them on the list. But yes, if you go to the TrackTac series, I go into an explanation of when they best work, what they're intended for, that type of thing. All right, let's not get lost here. Ghost at our track. Oh, okay. Do you run down to Champion and stuff? With the Ghost? I know some of the Ghost guys. Good, upstate New York. Yep, I know some of the Ghost guys. Good stuff. I put 2 in the trailer, 1 at the top before. Track is 5 minutes. In New York. Black Edge by... Oh, Insanity. Okay, and so Donnie Nall stuff. Okay, yep. Donnie Nall is super nice dude. I just met him for the first time this past year at JC Specialties. Super nice guy. Charger Racing Family affiliate. Super, super nice guy. I BS'd with him for a little bit. Super, super nice guy. I know a lot of people absolutely love his prep system, and that's fantastic. I've said it. I'll say it a bunch of times as often as I can. All tides raise all, or high tides raise all ships. Bring everybody up. All the chassis manufacturers, all the prep manufacturers, everybody. If you bring everybody up, I don't knock other people. I don't knock other products. Obviously, I'm in no position. Nobody's going to listen to me anyway. But I wouldn't ever do that because I want everybody to do. I want Donnie Nall to do fantastic. I want MC to do fantastic. I want TrackTac to do fantastic. I want all of the chassis manufacturers to do well. Tracks, everything. Karting up, positive. Let's I get the infighting. I understand why people get upset, but I don't. The track drama is enough. It's enough. I try and stay away from anything online. But yeah. Check it. We do this. Go to Iran. The cost of corn is much cheaper than in the U.S. Okay, interesting. I will not be going to Iran. I am an American with no intention of doing that. We'll do this question, right? Yeah. Okay, go check it. Yeah. My friend, you seemed... Oh, thank you. I try and be a good man. Absolutely do. I try, and I live as basic as it is. I live by the golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated. I try and treat everybody with respect as best I can. Doesn't mean I just don't disagree with people. It doesn't mean I don't disagree with ways of life or anything like that. But I also, I don't treat others as you want to be treated. I don't ever want to be judged. I want to be judged by the content of my character, and I try and put that out there into the world. That it's just tough. It's a weird world we live in now. The Black Mamba. I can't read your stuff. Sure, close enough to come try our track, man. Oh, I'm sure I would. I've said it before. I like indoor electric kart racing. I like amusement park karts. I like racing. It's just in general, small tracks, tiny tracks, big tracks. My skill set is better suited for big, fast tracks, only because that's what I raced on primarily for 20 years. Paradise Speedway in Geneva, New York was a big quarter mile. I mean, quarter mile on the inside, 3/8 in the line. In my open there at 80 mile an hour going down the straightaway, 55 in the center of the corner. Big, fast tracks. I like them. I like them a lot. It's where I'm better skilled at doing it. But also the bull rings, the fighting, the banging off one another, also fantastic. Big fan of that as well. Just not, it's not. It's taken me a lot longer to adapt to it than I would have hoped. But yeah, I would love to, come to all sorts of tracks. It'd be ideally if I had the money to do it, I would, I say I do it every weekend, but I also like spending time with my family, RVing, doing stuff like that, doing, family stuff, doing, going to, 30-year high school reunion type of thing. I do enjoy doing other stuff, but if I could race every weekend, the only thing I understand track championships. I understand dedication. I understand people going to the same track every weekend and doing that because I did it for like 4 or 5 years before I started traveling with the UAS. It's just losing. You really have to love Saturday night racing. You really have to love going to the track every single Saturday night in order to support that. And the older I get, the more I don't, that dedication is not there to go every single Saturday. Plus, I like to do other things, so I understand it. And I love it. I love that people support their local track and do that thing. And I see the same families there. When I do go down, that's great. But it's just, that's not for me. I do like, even though I don't like to travel great distances anymore, I like to travel to different tracks. I like to, and I encourage people to do that. Like once you get pretty darn good at your track, or even maybe you can't seem to find speed at your local track, I suggest going around and trying, if just local stuff, stuff that's a little closer to you, go and experience a different track. The competition is different. The setups are going to be different. The experience is going to be different. And sometimes you can take that knowledge that you acquired somewhere else, run into other people where they're transferring their knowledge into you. You go back to your local place where maybe you were struggling a little bit. You can now apply what you've learned there to that track. Makes you better. I think it's fantastic. Do I go live every day? I do not go live every day. I go live once a week on Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States of the Americas. No, I mean, I could talk like this every night. It's if my signal would hold up. I'd be working in the garage, talking on the interwebs. But yes, for products, this kind of things that help. Yeah, it's definitely one of the biggest things that does come up is the sponsorship stuff. It's difficult. I mean, I say this. Yeah, I've said this before. I have. Yeah, I find myself repeating myself, but I have a platform that I think is saleable. It's not how I treat it. It's not how I don't use my leverage in order to do that. I think it's worked for a couple people who have decided to, have me review a product, show a product, do something on here. I think it's, I have a platform to offer besides just, like the side of my cart type of thing. But absolutely, what Tyler says, local businesses, just be professional and know that you're going to get told no. I don't ask that often, but when I do ask about sponsorships or this and that, I have been told no a lot, and I have, a fairly big platform for kart racing. It's okay. It happens. I've been racing for my daughter's going to be 23 years this year, and I had already started. I've been racing 23 years in karting, and sponsorships they're tough to come by. So a seat for a bigger guy. Maybe somebody can chime in. I'm the ones I really like are Phantoms Next Gens. I am 220 pounds. They are stretched out a little bit. I will say that first and foremost. I'm 220 pounds, and this is a large, and I fit in a large. So, if you're bigger than that, I'm sure in XL. I don't know how big you are, sir, but I find these to be comfortable. Other people might have different suggestions. But honestly, the only thing I have now are the Next Gens, so I can't speak on anything else besides these ones. But I'm not a big guy. I'm 5'9", 222 pounds, and I fit into a large. So I think they accommodate a little bit bigger of a driver fairly easy, even in a large size. How do you read the height? Oh, did you see the video? No, I got it here. Hold on. I didn't put this away yet, so whoop, whoop. If you're asking, okay, it's set at 0. So you set this portion right here. That is going to go right over the bolt head. Where'd my clutch go? Hold on. We'll do a live demonstration. There's a Bully, standard Bully 2-disc. Red springs. So that thing goes over here. And then that spins, it's backwards for you guys. But every rotation around is 100 thousandths. So if Buller's going to suggest that, he wants these springs set for whatever engagement, or whoever your clutch guy is, say, hey, we want 240 thousandths on that. This thing is going to rotate around. Oh, missed it. All right, there's 1. We're going to come around 2. There's 200 thousandths, and then boop, 240 thousandths. That's how, and then you just turn them in. Turn them in to raise the engagement. You back them out to back down the engagement. So up makes it engage sooner. Down makes it engage later. Hope you could see that all right. All right, let's see. What the best guy? How do you read the guy? In 17 years, I've had 4 good sponsors. 2 are employers, and 2 have been. But yep, yep. I am a body guy. So I work on cars. Deer hits, Bondo. I repair metal. Smash into whatever, replace fenders and bumper covers and headlights, stuff like that. That's what I do for a day job. So yeah, I'm not a mechanic. I get frustrated with mechanical stuff, but I do, replace radiators and condensers and fans and valve covers and all sorts of stuff, because my job makes me do it. I can do brakes on cars and stuff, but yeah. Okay, so 4-year-old girl, what age would you prefer to get her out there on the track? If she's 4, I don't know the ages of the, what do they call those things? The the little electric, they're just like the Jeeps and stuff like that. What do they call those things? Oh shoot, I'm drawing a blank. Oh. Anyway, I I can't honestly answer you because neither of my kids have raced. But yes, they have sometimes they'll have a powder puff. No, not powder puff. That's not it. Somebody's going to answer the question in here. Yeah, they're power wheels, but they call them something else. Like the yeah, I'm driving anyway. Oh, there you go, 6. Sure. I know that the in between or before the features, sometimes they break them out and they let the kids run around there on the power wheels. They actually call it something, but I can't for the life of me think of the name. But yeah, it's dirty. Yes, it's my son. He showed some interest when he was, I don't know, 12 years old, something like that. I started collecting a whole bunch of stuff. I started getting seat, and then he just, I think he got nervous about it. And as it turns out, he's as competitive as I am, just in different aspects now. I mean, he's almost broken all my personal records for lifting. And he's 19 years old. It's really making me angry because I don't want to get old and I don't want to submit that he's stronger than I am, but it is. She said it's too loud. Oh, really? Yeah, no, that's can't force these kids. Yeah, it's tough. It's and I always, I think he had it in his head that I was gonna like throw him to the wolves, like just a regular, night of racing. Juice box, that's it, nailed it. Yeah, they call it the juice box. Thought I was gonna throw him to the wolves, and I was like, dude, I'll never do that to you. It's sometimes I think kids' perceptions of what their parents are or will do is a lot different than what we'd actually do. But yeah, if they're saying 6, that's unless you want to do the juice box type stuff, get them acclimated to it. Be like, all right, this is what it's like to drive in a circle around a dirt track, and then maybe everybody kind of. Everyone do. Oh, I appreciate that. Well, thank you very much. What time's it getting to be? Oh, it's 8:30. I only stay on an hour for anybody that's new here. I'm sorry about these screens stopping. I don't get it. We made it like 25 minutes or something like that, and then my phone just it hasn't moved. I don't understand why it keeps on doing that, but yeah. Radio Flyer Juice Box, nice. Yeah, I saw them. They had Selinsgrove. They had some. That was pretty cool. But yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, it's hot. I want to take a dip in the pool. So I'm going to get off here. But Sunday's video is going to be on what mistakes I made at Selinsgrove. I think it'll be, I have some real good, I have the things that went wrong. And, some funny anecdotal type of stuff. But where I think I could have improved my speed, discussing, things like the mini gears and what have you. I think it'll be for, it'll make for an interesting video, not because you guys are going to, learn a ton from what happened to me, but more of put yourself in that situation. Okay, this went wrong. He analyzed it. Okay, and maybe it does. Maybe you're going Reaper racing and you say, hey, Ben said this and that. He saw this at the track and, can understand that where things have gone sideways. But black sand. I have tires prep black sand. What do I do if we get rained out? More prep or leave them alone? Black sand, I would probably leave them alone. And then because black sand, the longer it sets, the better it gets. Because it's a bite adder. People, you could white black sand at the track, but that's why people cut it with Acrosol, not only to, cut down the grip of the black sand, because black sand's going to build, a lot more bite than maybe you want on a hard, fast track, but also cut down the drying time, because what makes it bite doesn't dry that quickly. So I'd say if you're going to miss a week or 2 weeks, I wouldn't go crazy. You could probably give them a wipe just to freshen it up during the next week or something like that. But the longer black sand or Tire Tough Mint for that, it's got about one of the same chemicals in it. The longer they set, the better the product is going to be. So that's what I've learned about it. Nice. Yep. Do you have any replace anything on your big motor one? Do you have to replace anything in your big motor on more regular than any other races? If you don't, my two-stroke, if I don't stick it, not really. Carb kits, because it's got the pumper stacks, the Tillotson pumper stacks. I try and replace those fairly often because they're for what they do, what they need to do. They're cheap enough to replace, and then clutch discs. Yeah, but those are two of the major things. Unless you stick it or do anything like that, pumper stacks. Not every time you run it. I'd say about every 3 times I'm running the Bama. I like to replace the pumper stacks and the Tillotsons, and then just keep an eye on your clutch discs, depending on if you're running a Bully turbo or how hot you're getting your clutch. Keep an eye on your air gap on your clutch, because 2 strokes, big motors, they are abusive on those clutches, and they tend to eat friction discs pretty easily. So it's just something to pay attention to. We replaced our rod bearing, and really, wow. Not in mine. I mean, knock on wood. I hope I don't have to rebuild it. I have another jug and piston in there if I have to rebuild it. But bottom rod, I have an upper rod bearing. Yeah, I have upper rod bearings and rod. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I don't have bottom rod end bearings for it. But then again, it's a standard Wisey. It's not stroked or anything. So if I ever had to replace it, I would just get a hot rods off of eBay or something, and just throw it in there and be done with that. Oh, okay, stock appearing. Yep. Yeah, here, I'll move just because I'm jumping off here quick, and if it kicks me off. But that's my open. That's my UAS ride. There's my Tillies. They're Buller 420s. So you have Buller 360s, 380s, and these are 420s. They'll breathe some serious methanol. So yeah, it's it's a riot. It really is a riot, and it'll be going on this chassis here very shortly. But all right, guys, I got to get off here. I'm sweating my gonads off. I don't swear on here, but all right, guys, I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.